What's going on, everyone? Last Musketeer here, and welcome to part 1 of the Neural Cloud free-to-play Is It Worth It series. So while this is playing in the background, I'm going to give a brief overview of what this series is all about for someone who might not have seen this before. So basically what I do is I do a blind playthrough. So I don't use guides, I don't use walkthroughs, I don't even look up what characters are meta, anything like that. I'm going based off what I see and what I experience firsthand. Now, as far as playtime, I do a minimum of 1 hour per day. So I usually have about 3 series going at the same time, so I gotta make sure that I have plenty of time for everything in between that and working a full-time job. So days that I'm off, I'm able to put in more time, put in more work, but I also don't show every single thing in the videos. It's hard to keep them at a good length, but overall I want to guarantee that I can show the major points and things that I run into, like roadblocks, certain ways to upgrade heroes, that sort of thing. Now, in selecting a mission, you go in and you select 8 heroes that you want to use for the mission. Now, only 5 can be deployed at a time, but the last 3 will sit on that grayed out back bar behind your other units. And so you can swap out certain units that may be better in a specific case or better for a strategy. And so you get a good amount of leeway on what you can actually use for strategy. Now, going into the match, those gray little circles you see in the middle are actually kind of like these terrain blockers. They can be destroyed, but they pose a problem to some of your melee heroes since you can't walk through other units. So they have to find a way through, which in turn makes it to where the tactical skill, like I used there, the teleport option, is a great option for throwing melee units on the backline or getting them around that early so that your other units don't take damage while not being able to dish out damage themselves. Now, possibly my favorite part about this is the function cards. Now, this is kind of like a roguelite system. As you'll see in the top 2 of 8 up there, I have a purple one and a blue one. So these are basically added abilities that upgrade your characters, whether it be damage, debuffs, granting them more survivability. So basically you're building a deck of abilities that you can upgrade that allow you to be a little more survivable and carry out some of these missions, because as you're going through, especially later on, you're going to run into harder and harder missions. Now, the cool thing about it is, I don't know if it's necessarily based on energy, but you have keys, and so when you finish a mission, you can choose to use the keys to grab that. So I think there's like an added layer of, if you don't like the rewards, you can go back and play it again, potentially get different rewards that you may like more, and then you can use the energy. I don't know if that's exactly how it works, I could be wrong, but if so, it's something I hadn't experienced in one of these games before, so it's actually a really cool feature. Now to the juicy inbox rewards. So one of my favorite things is when you get through a tutorial of the game and you're playing for the first time and you get to see all the rewards they give you, whether you be getting in during an event, like I got in through New Year, which gave me some really nice rewards, and also like the pre-registered rewards. So the pre-registration actually gave me a 3-star hero, so I don't know exactly how good she is. I've used her quite a lot and she always seems to perform extremely well, but it always makes me wary because since I don't have an opportunity to look up what is meta, I don't know exactly how good she is overall. So sometimes games will give you a unit for free that's a high tier unit, so everybody's like, ooh, high tier unit means way better than most of my other options. So you'll go in and put a lot of resources in. Turns out that they may not even be that good compared to like 2-star heroes. So I don't want to lead you on and tell you that she's good because I don't know per se, but it's always better to follow a meta guide. You don't have to go over a play-by-play guide, but following some type of unit guide is always a good idea to help you get a really good start. Now currently I got some summons from the pre-registry and some other content, so I decided to try for a couple 10 pulls on the Delacy banner. Not always the best option as a free-to-play to just go ahead and blow all your summons right away, but for these videos I do like to go in and summon and kind of show what you get on average. There is a pity system of 60 pulls, so if you are going for a banner, make sure that you can get to that point, because you may get lucky and pull something beforehand, but obviously as a free-to-play, it's a little more limited for you, so you have to kind of plan ahead for which ones you want. Now, one cool feature is, as you're going into a mission, you can kind of map out where you're going to go. So as you can see, they are connected. You can't go from the top of one level down to the bottom of the other level. So kind of map out beforehand what your best route for getting through the mission is. So there's normal, intermediate, or advanced difficulty stages, and so they have scaling rewards, so essentially you're playing in a risk versus reward system in which if you take on the harder ones, you have options of getting better ones, such as these purple ones from the advanced. There's also healing in between function libraries where you can pick a specific card, an anomaly system where it's random what happens there, but you have a couple choices usually of what you want to do. The store where you can buy specific functions and re-roll to try to get different ones. You can do upgrades. But do keep in mind that to do that you have to use the points that you gained through the actual play. So as you can see on the top right, it says 30. I'm discarding some of the ones that I don't want or don't need, and they will give me extra points towards that. So when I get to a library, if I have a decent amount, I can choose specific cards that I need. So it's important to pay attention to what you have. If something doesn't work with your lineup, just get rid of it, get those extra points to where you can turn them in at a store. Another cool feature that I do like that also goes in the risk reward system is I fought this boss, beat the boss, and it gives me the option to say yes or no to going after a more powerful enemy. It adds a stage, another boss stage, but they're stronger in this one. So if you want the rewards, you can go for it. If you don't think you can beat it, you just press no and go and claim your rewards from the previous. But if you want to try to push your luck, go ahead and go in and try the harder boss. One cool thing that they have in the duplicate system is every time you duplicate a hero, you get what is called neural kits, and there's those points up at the top right of my screen currently. Those are used to get fragments of heroes that you already own, so you can kind of pick and choose which ones you want to upgrade specifically. Now this does have a gifting system as well for your characters so that you can upgrade your reputation with them. Sure, it unlocks cool rewards. I haven't tried it out. We'll see more on it in the next video because I have a decent amount of gifts. I just haven't turned any of them in yet. There's nice free packs for daily, weekly, and monthly. Always appreciated. And I'm taking a look at some of these packages to see kind of what they value everything at. And they do have some for the quartz sand, and this is your main currency. This is your spending currency for generally summoning and other things. So this is what you're going to be saving up. Now you get them for rewards from beating stages for the first time, for completing missions, that sort of thing. But you're going to want to save. There are going to be certain things you want to use them on. I don't know what it is yet, but I will probably be spending mine a decent amount. And I also bought those early supplies with these sands because essentially any resources I can get early on is going to help me in the long run. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's worth it for you to do that because I don't actually know value-wise just how valuable these starter packs are, but usually when it comes to a starter pack, it's always good to pick them up. Looking at the quartz vouchers there, it shows that 60 of them are worth $1, so I kind of use that as a baseline when I'm figuring out just how worth something is when picking it up from a shop, if I'm able to do something like that as a free-to-play. There are also skins in the game. Hopefully they're available for free-to-play. I don't know yet. I'll find that out as I go on, but Coming to this, I saved up enough of the sands, the quartz sands, to purchase a one-time newbie pack that guarantees a 3-star hero, and I went with Florence. So I always like to start out with a really good healer because that's going to carry me through most of the game. It's always going to be viable. And just as a quick demonstration of what happens when you max someone's level, you throw a breakthrough on them. So you collect these widgets, you use them to upgrade to the next potential level, and then you can upgrade them further. So that's essentially your leveling system throughout the game. Other than that, you can upgrade their star rarity by collecting pieces. So essentially, you'll get extra pieces of the hero up to a certain point, and then you can upgrade their star rarity using those pieces. That's essentially the power ranking of this game. I don't know how easy it'll be to get for the higher level units yet. We'll figure that out as time goes on, but I'm going to end the video here, guys. This has been The Last Musketeer, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.